South Korea's Constitutional Court is holding a hearing on whether to confirm the impeachment of President Park Geun-hye. Parliament voted to suspend her powers in December over allegations that she received bribes in exchange for political favours. The corruption scandal has included senior government aides and top corporate execs. The head of Samsung was questioned by prosecutors for 15 hours overnight on Monday. Well, for more, we can speak to Adam Reid, who's joining us live from Seoul. So, Adam, what's the latest on this court hearing? Is Ms. Park Geun-hye going to be officially impeached?
Well, that's still yet remains to be seen, but there has been a potentially key moment in proceedings this afternoon in Seoul, as it was confirmed that the Constitutional Court will indeed accept around 2,000 audio files, which they say will help President Park's defence team prove her innocence. On those recordings are conversations between her friend Chu Sun-sil, who also finds herself, of course, at the centre of this process, as well as other associates, including Ko Young-tae. Ko, of course, who triggered the initial impeachment after allegations exposing ties that Choi used via the president to extort money from large companies. He's allegedly heard in some conversations to be working out ways to personally gain from taking control from non-profit organisations. Now, very key here as well, Park seem to believe this to be of great consequence and will back up their argument that the impeachment was triggered by a conspiracy led by Ko to implicate Choi and in turn then the president. However, in another twist, the admission of the recordings as evidence wasn't met with too much sadness by the impeachment panel, because they hit back, saying that it would actually help their case against the president because Ko can be heard speaking about Park's over-reliance on her friend. So really hard to necessarily know who's going to be the happier after today's events.
Absolutely. It's a good old political scandal. And how are people in South Korea dealing with this? Aren't they just kind of sick of this going on for so long and want it to be over pretty soon?
Yeah, well, there is definitely that sense of feeling. Every weekend, we found hundreds of thousands of people taking to the streets in Seoul, demonstrating against the president. The thing is, there's a process that's taking place. There's the end of the month for this particular hearing, but then there's also delaying tactics that's being called upon as the president is saying that she's dragging out this whole thing. Now, a key date for your diary there is March the 13th, because of the 9 judges serving on the Constitutional Court bench, one has since retired and another one is to follow on that date, because President Park has been accused of delaying things, really, and making a real effort to drag this out as long as possible, because once we get to that March the 13th date, of the 7 remaining people on that bench, only 2 judges would then have to reject the impeachment in order to see her fully reinstated. So a little while to go still, I'd say.
We do wait and see. Adam, for now, thank you.